Welcome to Larp Academia, and today we're going to talk about what you get as a level 5 wizard. Now, your first purchasing option is Ambulant. Oh, Ambulant. Ooh. Now, for the other classes, Swift is really good because there's a lot of support spells that they can cast on themselves and their allies, which are touch. But for you are not about helping your allies. You are about making sure your enemies suffer. And the greatest way to do that is to charge them down. Or if they're charging you, back away while casting your spell. An Ambulant lets you move while casting. It's also really good when a whole archetype is dedicated to just making this unlimited. So Ambulant is wonderful for you as a wizard. I can't overstate it enough. We'll get into more why at level 6. Now, a not so great spell for you is Contagion. The reason why it's not so great, do you like the idea of melee weapons wounds kill on you? Well, you can't give it to yourself, which makes sense, but you can give it to other people. And first off, that means you have to trust other people and actually give them enchantments. I mean, you're not a druid. What is this? So already that's kind of weird. We established that your enchantments aren't great from level 4, not even really a part of your kit. And while it does give someone that melee weapons wounds kill, it also makes them fragile. So everyone else's wounds kill to them. You see the trade-off here is that wounds kill going both ways is a double-edged sword that most people don't want. And while theoretically it could be good with a warrior who has 6 points of armor going around swinging at people and who should just never be wounded ever, well, I mean, that's very theoretical. We talked about how in Why is Magic Overpowered Part 1 that most people don't even wear armor. So you don't have a very good situation for this to happen. You could put it on a warrior who is armored up with a pole, and see how I'm noting that it's all warriors mostly, since other people can't repair their armor, and that's the biggest thing for having Contagion on. That's a problem. Also, if a wizard has wounding, they die. Not great. The other reason why it's so bad is that at level 5 we get this. At level 5 we get the ability to make anyone have wounds kill and have anyone wounds kill them. But at 6th level, Druid, just one level away, get the ability to give people wounds kill, and that's it. Okay, I mean, there should be a better trade-off, like Contagion is a lower level, or that Druids can't, double the amount of points they take for Imbue Weapon while we're stuck with 1 point per Contagion. It's not very synergistic with our kit, and again, it's all about us. That doesn't even make us look good. Contagion's just meh. It's not a very good spell. Very situational, if that. Now we have the Longsword, which, oh my god, do you see how many points of magic this thing costs? Do you see how many points of magic? You take this and you don't have any 5th level spells. It's just gone. It's just gone. That's what a longsword does. And what's even worse is that if you do wield a longsword and a short sword, well, I don't have one because why would I? I can't cast then. We'll go into how to kind of make that work with 2 weapons at level 6, but there's no point in taking this. It's so many points of 5th level magic for a little bit of reach. It's not a good weapon. The only time that I have ever seen this taken, and the only reason why I could ever condone it taken, is if you don't care if this is good. You want to play a Jedi, and you want to go around and just shove and throw people, and those aren't optimal spells. They're annoying, but you just want to mess with people. You want to go, and you want to go flurby and everything else. Well, I mean, you don't usually go like this to a sword or whatever. And you can see it's just something to have fun with, and you do not want to seriously take this in your kit. It's just a for fun option. Please do not incorporate this or say that this is a must-have weapon. If you do, you're wrong. Now, something that is a must-have is Phase Bolt. We've talked about how wizards are the only class who can always have an answer for something, and that is Phase Bolt. Someone's immune to magic. Phase Bolt, like, oh, immune. You're like, yeah, take your point of damage. No, I'm immune to magic. You say, yeah, take your point of damage. Like, well, I'm immune to sorcery. I'm immune to everything. I have pro mag on. That's cool. Take your point of damage. That's what Phase Bolt is. It's great. It's a force bolt that says, screw you. I don't care about your options. I don't care about what you have. It ignores all ongoing enchantments, abilities. Monk, hand block, take a wound. Wait, what? Yeah, take a wound. Well, I have stone skin on. It ignores that too. I don't care. You're going to take a wound. It's wonderful. And Phase Bolt should always work. If Phase Bolt doesn't work, it's because your game designers are going really hard to make a monster who's just so powerful, and they're going to negate an entire class because they're going to make Phase Bolt not work. And at that point, you just shouldn't play because there's nothing you can do. You're meant to offensively deal with people. You are the ultimate offensive magic class, and Phase Bolt should always work. When game designers go that far, it's not fun for anyone anyways. And that's why Phase Bolt always works. It's your anti-cheese. It's your I don't care, you're going to take it. The problem, why it's not purple, even though this sounds awesome, is that Force Bolt is a level 1 spell where you get 3 balls per purchase. This is a level 5 spell where you get 1 ball per purchase. This does the exact same thing as Force Bolt, except it just ignores cheesy stuff. That's kind of disheartening to have a spell ball that you throw at someone who doesn't have enchantment. They say, well, what does it do? Well, you know what a Force Bolt does? Yeah, well, that's my 5th level spell. And they just look at you kind of confused as it bounces off their shield and they go, huh, okay, and they ignore it. It's kind of disheartening. It's not the most powerful spell in the world, but under the right circumstances, which actually does happen quite frequently, it is a very good option. And you should almost always take this, mainly because of monks and anyone who's enchanted. It's so fun to throw it at a warrior who has all these other enchantments. Oh, I have stone skin. Hit my chest, who cares? No, I do care because you're dead. Well, I have 2 points of stone. I don't care, you're dead. What? And then it's just wonderful. So this is your answer that you can almost always take. Now, Pyrotechnics is it's an interesting spell. It's the threat spell. It's where you start casting it at someone, and if they know what it does, they'll put away their equipment, they'll drop it on the ground, and you have 50 feet to do it. It's pretty fun to use as a threatening spell. And you do have to carry out with the threat every once in a while, otherwise it loses its potency. The problem is that you don't want to use it. The reason why is it's per refresh, you're not getting it back unless you have 2, which, I mean, if you're spending 2 points on a threat, okay, but all it does is that it destroys all melee weapons, well, all weapons, pretty much melee weapons, and shields that the bearer is carrying. Now, this means I could have 70 swords strapped to me and 3 shields, and when Pyrotechnics goes off, they're all broken and my whole game plan is failing, but there's a problem with that. Most people only bring what they're going to use in their hands. So I have a single sword and a single board. I don't have any extra stuff because I don't want to fully utilize my class. Okay, I don't need to drop anything that much, and I have to wait till you're gone and then just... That's it. That's all the motion I need to do. And while that can be annoying and it can make a change in a fight, you're possibly killing someone with a per refresh spell if you actually carry through with it, and they're not going to drop it in the middle of a fight. They're going to call your bluff. You're going to have to use a 5th level per refresh. I mean, that is the only time that it really gets a kill. And even then it's debatable because you have spell walls, you have kill combos, you have all these other ways to have sustainable kills. So Pyrotechnics is a threat. It's where you just posture. Like, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, puff out your chest, you're going to do that. And they call your bluff, or you carry through with it and you no longer have the bluff. People also eventually get tired of the bluff and they don't care. They just look at you and say, use it. What? You're going to Pyrotechnics me with my shield and sword when I'm next to my 2 other healers who have Mend on tap? What do I care? It's not that big of a deal. And Pyrotechnics also kind of has a little bit of a long incant, so it's not a very... it's not a spell that's taken very often. It's not a very great spell, and while you can take it, and you're not wrong for taking it, it's not common for a reason. Now, something that is common and necessary, if a wizard doesn't have this on their spell list, they're wrong, is Steal Life. Well, unless maybe they're Evoker. But Steal Life is essential. We've talked about kill combos, how you can lightning bolt someone and drag them below, how you can ice ball someone and shatter them, how you can astral intervention and then dimensional rift as you hear their screams as they pierce through the ether. You have these cool combos, but they're refresh charge times 10, so they're not very sustainable. And that's a huge problem. We talked about synergy and sustainability as a wizard, where you got quantity over quality, and Steal Life is what gives you the ability to make those spells sustainable. You can only take it twice per life, unfortunately, but that still gives you 2 kill combos per life, which is amazing. And how it works is, let's say you ice ball someone, you shatter them at about touch range, and you say, hey buddy, Steal Life, charge shatter. And once you have touched them, they are also cursed, so it's an extra little bit that healers have to deal with, a little bit more pain that you're giving people, which is great. But more importantly, it charges your ability. It makes things sustainable. You now have 2 kills per life from this ability. It's a wonderful thing to have, and it stops other abilities from triggering. Like, for example, let's say a warrior's True Grit, where they make themselves frozen. That's spirit. They can't do it. It sucks for them. It's your ultimate, I'm going to shut you down, go away, my kill combo's refreshed, and I will keep doing it. The only time that Steal Life won't work is if someone else is already cursed, which sucks, but it does work on people who are immune to death. What happens is that the people who's immune to death are not cursed, and you get your charge back, which is the main reason for Steal Life. Now, Steal Life also is not just for charges. Let's say that you've just killed someone and then a projectile strikes your leg. You look around, don't see a healer or druid who actually took heal around you, and you reach out to that person who just died. Steal Life. You heal a limb. Something you've probably realized with Wizard is that heal's nice, and you wish you had it. A lot of the times when you get hit and your arm's gone instead of your torso or your legs, you kind of wish you had heal. This is what Steal Life is for you. It gives you the option to heal yourself. So Steal Life can heal you, which could potentially save you, and it can also instantly charge an ability, giving you the option to have kill combos. It makes them sustainable, and it makes it so that you are able to have an essential part of your kit. And I have not seen any wizard who does not have Steal Life Essence, because it is that good. Now, Void Touch. Normally, enchantments, they're a joke for us. We start getting them at level 4. What is this? Void Touch is one that you might actually take. The reason being is that, well, one, it's unique to you. You get a unique enchantment, and this one's actually good. What? Vampirism was terrible. Contagion, not so great. Void Touch is pretty good. The problem is that in order to make it last, it costs 3 points. We'll talk about how at level 6, which isn't great. 3 points of high level magic. It really hurts your spell list. You're building your kit. And Void Touch is not sustainable. Now, here's what I mean by that. Some wizards have taken up the idea to partner up and say, we're going to Void Touch each other in order to make that Icy Blast Shatter combo work, like I talked about before. And since it gives unlimited Steal Life, it on paper looks good. The problem is that if your opponents are somewhat competent, this combination should never work. And I always assume that my opponents are somewhat competent or can adapt after a game or a few games, and it might be a good thing to do once. However, when you keep doing it, when you try to make it an integral part of your kit where, hey, let's Icy Blast Shatter combo each other with Void Touch, yeah, you hit 3 Void Touches or 4, or you get 3 and then you make it sustainable, where it takes 3 to 5 points out of your high level magic, which is already a lot, and it can be either dispelled or you can die. If it does stay or have staying power, it'll be dispelled, because a lot of classes have dispel, and anytime anyone hears someone have persistent Void Touch, instantly dispelled. They're almost as high a priority target as Golem, because Void Touch is so powerful. And other people who are wizards, especially since we have chargeable dispel, we know that, wait, you spend 3 points of high level magic on that? Oh, that has to be taken away right away. It's that sadistic vibe that wizards have for each other, where we want to one-up and show that we're better than everyone else, which is why I'm still better than everyone as a wizard. But there are problems with Void Touch. You cannot reliably make it part of your kit if your enemy is somewhat competent. And it's a fun ability to put on another person, let's say an assassin or a monk or someone else. It's a fun thing, but it's not usually game changing. Even though it is powerful, it's a spell that should be targeted as one of the highest priority out there. And that's why Void Touch is green instead of blue or purple, is because it takes a lot of your high level points. It's going to be smashed whenever it comes out onto the battlefield, and it's not something that you can reliably put into your kit or into another wizard's kit where you can combo off of each other to make it sustainable. Now, a spell that's an enchant. What is this? We have 2 enchants at a level? What the frick? We have 2 enchants? Okay, I'm not used to this, but don't worry. This enchant is not for other people. This enchant is solely for you. Now, Ward Self is a lot like V7's Protect, version 7's Protect. This is for the older people who have come in, who love the idea of multicasting and Protect, have 4 points if I don't care on you. You can't multicast Ward Self. You have 1 instance of Ward Self. It gives you a resistance to I don't care, resistant to it, resistant to Ice Ball, resistant to a wound, resistant to a death, I don't care, Ward Self, and then it's gone. That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. The problem is that you're spending a 5th level point of magic for something that you could probably get from a druid at 1st level, or at best 3rd level usually. If you get Stone Skin from a druid, it usually does what Ward Self does, and far better. It also takes a 3rd level spell from them, which they probably have 4 of, and you don't have to waste a 5th level spell to do this. Now, Ward Self might have a use on a small battlefield where there's less than 10 people, but honestly, even then, I wouldn't take it. I would try to go with my natural paranoia, just looking around, having a meat shield next to me, trying to use them, position them like I would any other object, because that's all they are. They're just a meat shield. And I would use my teammates. And if you use your teammates, there is no need for Ward Self. Ward Self is almost a trap like Innate, but it's a little bit better since it's able to keep you alive while Innate just takes away options. Now, Ward Self does take away options, but it does something else in return. I just would not recommend Ward Self to anyone. And most wizards out there have probably realized that teamwork is far better than spending 5th level magic. But what do you think of a 5th level wizard? Do you think that you should spend all your points in Ward Self? Screw it, teammates aren't important. Do you think that the long sword is actually the best purchasing option you can have because you want that length for poking and pretending you're a Jedi? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. But until next time, this has been Wizzo, and keep LARPing.